I forget. Hey, everybody. Today we have Taylor Brune with us, a VA who also has her own company. She does a lot with social media management, and Instagram is really her strong point. She does other things as well, so I don't want to take away from that. But Taylor has some health concerns, and she started her own channel on Instagram and has really grown it. She has a personal, and that's different than the virtual agency that she has. So it's a medical mind. Tell it, go ahead, introduce yourself. It's there, the medical minder. Make sure you guys get her email, but
Yeah.
introduce yourself and take it away, whatever I can do. I am outside, so I will probably mute. This is
Okay.
going to be informal. We definitely want questions. Like this is about your time and coming here. I get no kickbacks from Taylor being here. She's been a good friend as far as helping us with the group. She has a bunch of talks lined up for us. And I I think social media is so important, without a doubt, but I definitely have
Yeah.
had a love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah.
And I find my more hate when I'm really not clear about what I wanted to do. Before you guys came on, I was talking about Taylor about how
Yes.
I'm doing in the middle of a rebrand. And during that rebrand, it was really hard because I was like, I don't know what to post. Like I really, and I'm all about planning things out, but how could you
Yeah.
plan out if you're not really clear about your path and what you want to say? So
hmm
thanks for being here. This is recorded. We will do a replay.
Well, thank you, Sharon, for having me, and good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you so much for joining. So I put a link in the chat for a free Instagram workbook. So that is just, a prompt for all of you guys if you'd like to download it. And, it kind of guides you to be able to kind of write your goals, your thoughts, a little bit of strategy for each of you. So if you have questions, I'm going to take some questions in the after the presentation. I'm just doing a couple slides today, just to show you visually what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna have you guys ask questions and I'll answer. And then if we don't get to your questions by the end of this, I put my email in the slides for you guys so that you can feel free to just email me any questions you have, and I'm happy to answer and, give ideas, strategize, etc. So I'm just real quick gonna open up my um, oh, I need to share screen first, correct? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And then, oh, I need to move this. There we go. Okay, give me one moment. Okay, it should show.
Taylor,
Hopefully
very
everyone
pretty
can
slides.
see. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see if I can get rid of this up top. I don't know if I can up top, but that's okay. All right, so today there's so many levels to Instagram specifically, so I'm going to be talking more in depth on other topics in the coming months, like collaborations, influencing a little bit diving deeper in um, content strategy in the coming months. But today it's kind of just the basic wide plan, that you see going in Instagram for beginners so that you're able to just kind of get an idea of some tips, to start out with to build a solid foundation on Instagram. And this is whether like you already have an Instagram, but you haven't really, started consistently posting, or if you're completely brand new and you are just creating your Instagram. So these tips can help both of those, audiences, and anyone really. So yeah. So my name is Taylor, and I am a nationally certified medical assistant and scribe. So I started working in the medical field. And then, everything with COVID, I switched to wanting to uh, work more closely with physicians, not just doing patient care, but helping them with their businesses and their brands, because, physician fatigue is so real and burnout has become so evident in every physician's life. And a lot of physicians want to start, opening up their businesses, having side businesses, doing social media. And so I figured the background in medicine and my education in medicine, as well as, working for other PR, marketing, social media companies throughout the years, I wanted to combine that to help. And I love being able to speak here. so that I can offer my knowledge and wisdom and experience with my clients who are physicians as well, what we've learned, what doesn't work, what works. And oh, my business is called the Medical Minder Virtual Agency. So today we're going to be talking about, different branding strategy to get started, hashtags, what you need to know, your bio, optimization, what you need to include, and a few tips in there. And then, how to think about, crafting the compelling content and then building engagement and audience and bringing that audience in to be able to see your posts, whether you're just beginning or if you've already begun and you're just starting again to repost consistently. Okay, so hopefully you can see. I'm going to move the little box over here. So I'm just using mine. I just opened up my Instagram. I just, created my Instagram for my business last year. So that's why it's looking more new. And I've poured my hours more into my clients' social medias than mine, but I've built it up to where, surprisingly, within the first 2 months of having my Instagram last year, I got 2 clients off of Instagram, which, that's bizarre to think like you can get clients or, people buying from you off Instagram. But if you set yourself up correctly in the beginning and have that strong foundation and that clear message, like Sharon was saying, like that clear, visible, goal, in the beginning of knowing what you want to post and what your brand is or what your business is or what your practice is, that will help bring in the right people to you where you could get business and clients and then even, people buying like your digital downloads, etc. Okay, so the first basic few things, obviously on the IG handle where we have the arrow here, so mine, I just put my business name and that's perfect. A lot of, successful people, they put their business name or their, professional name you can do, for physicians, you do it 2 ways. I like to brand and market my clients as the main physician. So like they are the brand. And then under them comes everything else, like their workshops, their courses, their businesses. So it would be like Dr. Dr. Sharon. And then that would be up here. And then, or if you'd like to just use your business, you can put your business name. You do want it shorter. Mine's, however, longer because I have a longer business name. But if you just keep your name short, that's perfect. But ideally, having doctor in it because it will come in the search too. Okay. So the next thing, that's really good. This can be either your business logo and you want to make it visible so that they can read it, or what I like to have is their professional headshot. And it could just be like a portrait photo of you where it's like really nice. You're either in your white coat or in a very nice blouse, but it shows you and your smile. And that is a lot of, doctor influencers, they have their portrait on there. But also if you're, creating your own business account, then you'll just want to put your logo on there. But I suggest if you're branding yourself as a physician and then putting everything underneath, then your portrait. And then, so right here, I think this is, one of the most important aspects. So right here, the arrow's pointing to the bio heading. So this is very important because Instagram has, added the SEO and keyword important factor. So they are kind of like a Google search in a way. So when you type in, on search, social media management, you're going to get the top rated social media managers. You're going to get, people who put in their bio heading line, social media. So I put, because the people that I want, to help, the main services, the 2 main services that I love doing and offering is the virtual assistant for physicians. So I put physician in there because that's specific to me and my business. And then I put social media management too, so that they know, oh, okay, physicians also can have the social media management. So you would put, depending on, you wouldn't put your name So that is where it has changed, because back in the day, a few years ago, we put our names there. No, you want to put your name in underneath, which I'll go over in the next slide. So this is mainly SEO keywords that you want to be known for, you want to be searched for, because you will show up at the top of the search on there. And that's your niche. So that's super important. So right here, the descriptive bio now, you can put your name, your credentials, and the SEO keywords do continue here as well. And this you can play around with. Like I can do two different things. Like right now I'm playing around with physicians build their businesses. Business is a keyword, but I also, later on can see if it works if I do helping physician entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur is a keyword too. So I'm just kind of playing around with it, and you can do that too. But what you want to include is your niche keywords. You want to add your services, what you do, who you help, your name, and then also a CTA, being able to have them do a call to action. Like a lot of doctors do, join my workshop, and then they put the link below, or sign up for my online course, and then they put the link below. Or, sign up for my freebie newsletter, then they put the link below. So you want some type of thing that you're offering, even if you do one-on-one coaching for physicians, or, one-on-one coaching for patients, etc. You just want to put kind of above the link what you are telling them is right there where they can go. And then you always have a link, and you can put your website, just your basic website, but I do recommend like Linktree or different types of Linktree sites. Like I have one called Milkshake. Weird name, but it offers different link aesthetics. So when you click on it, it's a little bit more beautiful. And where Linktree is more basic, a lot of doctors have Linktree. It's great. But if you want more options to make it more feminine or go with your brand, try Milkshake or different Linktree websites like that. But in those links, you definitely want to have your websites, your products, your articles, your favorite articles that you've either published, written, or you've been interviewed in. You want to have your other social media links, like if you have a YouTube or a TikTok, or a blog you want them to visit, or a podcast, you want all those types of links in your main link tree. Just because, that's one of the first thing that everyone's going to go to, is they will click it to see, your credentials, who you are, what you're about, what you're offering, and, what you've been doing. And that is also how patients, gather their physicians. They look to see if they're involved, what they do, what they offer. So that's also a key point to be able to grab not only clients, but also patients. Okay. And then also, like I said, the keywords and what you want to be searched for. Okay, so here now in the highlights, this varies from every physician, and it really is just your taste. You can have like 3 or 4 or a lot, but what I've noticed throughout the 10 plus years of being on Instagram is the more highlights you have, the more that they'll stay on your page, which helps the algorithm. So, and it also shows, like if you're an OBGYN and you cover hormones, menopause, premenopause, intimacy, libido, etc., healthcare, women's health, you can have like a highlight for each one of those topics. And they'll be able to kind of click and go through and, stay on. But what really is good about highlights, and this is important, is you want to be able to make sure you have one that tells who you are, your story about you, kind of like a start here, like why are they here? Why are you on here? And then also you want to have like client wins or testimonials or patient testimonials. You always want to have that social proof. And then, you can make it also another highlight. That's not just testimonials, but also just the social proof, where it's like text messages or messages or emails screenshotted from your clients or your patients, and that you can share to your story, that you can be like, oh, this was a great, comment or message sent by my client and you share it on your story. That's really important to save because people will be like, oh, this is authentic, real, raw. It's not just the Google or Yelp review. So you want to kind of add those too. Other highlights, educational, blog, workshops, your PR and media, articles that you've published, your YouTube. If you want to save your YouTube episodes every week, they can go back and click those links. And same with the blogs. And then also podcasts, having all your podcast episodes on your stories and then link your podcast episode and then save them to your highlights so that they can just go back. And then you're constantly, no matter what time it is, because those are there always, there's no expiration on highlights. Stories, there's an expiration, but we'll get to that. But the highlights, they're there always. So your links will be there always, weeks after you post that story. So that's the benefit. So you just kind of want to play around and see what works best for you and what you want to include to have them go through. Okay, so hold on, the box is a little bit in the way. There we go. So what to post for reels. So there's, different types of content, the reels, the stories, and, the in-feed posts, which are like graphics, carousels, portraits, etc. So for reels, this is mainly, they're really good for reaching new audiences and reaching your current audience. They're, one of the top things for the algorithm that you do need. So I do recommend more reels than your basic, graphic posts. But you do need graphic posts because, there is an audience who loves the visual, and then the auditory, and then, people like to read and get the real information in your captions in the graphics. So it's just really good to have all of the type of content, especially when you want to make the aesthetic look appealing and have your brand colors stick out. So with your reels, you want to connect to people. You want to add the hooks in the beginning to bring them in. You want to obviously connect with them with emotions. You want to kind of, show more of you and your expertise and your knowledge and who you are in your story through your reels, because this is also a way that you build trust with your community. And the longer you, show up in your face, whether it's the pictures in feed posts or the face in your reels, this builds the relationship, the online relationship that you have, the virtual relationship, because essentially social being you're building relationships and not just professional, but you're also building long-term relationships where even if you go, you're on, like for me, for instance, my main Instagram for my autoimmune health, I, posted daily for years, but then, the last 2 years, I haven't been as consistent because I've been more focused on growing my clients' social media. But even when I do post, like I went months without posting a reel. And within the first like hour of posting a reel after not posting, I got tons of comments, like over 5,000 views. And that just doesn't happen, unless you have your true audience, your people, your community. Like these people still follow me, even though I haven't been consistent, which is not good. um, but like that's what it's about. Like they're here to support you through the ups and downs. And those are the people who are going to buy from you. Those are the people who are going to continue to support you, even when haters come. If you get the occasional, negative comment, like they will rally and just add positive comments. Like it's all about building your community, and reels are perfect for that because it just shows who you are. It shows your personality. You connect with them. It's relatable. So for reels, you want to post like, especially if you have like a med spa. If there's a lot of doctors who do aesthetics now, and so they do the before and afters, a lot of like vein and vascular before and after for like sclerotherapy, varicose veins, surgeries. Like I helped a plastic surgeon. We did a lot of reels for like before and after. Those are really great because it shows once again your ability that you can, be successful at what you do. And then, product reveals, like if you have created creams or digital products or etc., or your online courses, just revealing, like announcing. A lot of, physicians and other influencers outside of medicine, they do the reels for the product reveals, and also, hey, we're having a launch to my new course, early bird special, come and get it. Like, this just keeps them aware of what you're selling. So every once in a while you want to, talk about your newsletter or talk about your podcast launching, or your freebie in your newsletter, or your course, etc. Emotional videos, I said, telling your story, telling things that you've gone through and you've overcome that's relatable to your brand, and what you're trying to help people with. That is the number one key. And that's basically how I built my previous social media, is just by sharing my story and relating to others. And a lot of, unfortunately, it gets flooded. Social media is flooded now with a little bit more in authenticity, and we have to always remember, be our authentic selves, share who we are, share struggles with other people, because that's what people are craving. Like, even though, social media managers don't always say online this, that you want to be raw, you want to be vulnerable. Like, that is what people craving. That's what people crave right now. And that's what will make you successful, because it will show your compassionate side. And that is very important, especially in a physician, and especially in, a physician who is a leader, a pillar in the community. You want to not only show that you're a pillar in the community, you know what you're talking about, but that you have a heart for people, and, you want to show that beautiful side of you. Um, Anyways, because it's very unique in physicians. You each have such a beautiful, unique heart. Anyways, share your skills, educational, 3 tips for weight loss, 3 tips for leaky gut syndrome, etc. That type of skills, educational, and just talk about it. You do tutorials, behind the scenes are really cool, like showing your practice, showing your office, just kind of just showing preview into your life. And of course, before you start posting anything, you want to be able to figure out your boundaries. How much do you want to show in your life? Like, do you not want to show your kids? Don't show anything with your kids, but you want to show a little bit about your back behind the scenes in your office. So it's really just you figuring out what you do want to share in your content and what you don't, for the behind the scenes. And then humor, some physicians incorporate humor into their reels, and they're pretty funny, and that can align with trends. So you can just look up, search like viral funny trends and then kind of mimic it. And then doing direct talk is always good. And that's just direct talking like this, showing your face and showing your authority. And then inspirational with music is always a hit, because once again, it hits that emotions. You want to do like your voice, like here's like a pretty nature background with music in the background, and then you can do a voiceover of you saying something, inspirational, like encouraging, like if you work with chronic illness patients or autoimmune patients, and you just know that that's your audience, you want to get more autoimmune people with chronic illness into your practice, you want to be able to speak directly to them and be like, I know this is hard. I know you've been to like multiple doctors, but I'm here for you. You're strong. And then like have it, inspirational talk, pep talk with them, and then put like music. And that will definitely go viral, because you're speaking directly to your audience. And you can do that in different ways, no matter if you're looking for patients or clients. Okay, so the next thing is single posts, like portraits, infographics, carousels. These are great for authority, tips, inspiring content, your portraits, education, just fun infographics, and then also, making it aesthetically pleasing, your brand colors, so that they know this is your brand. So yeah, so milestones you want to show, step-by-step infographics, guides, quotes, memes, portraits of you, being an authority, like if you're speaking or if you're filming your podcast, you with the podcast, a nice portrait, the podcast mic. And then you want to, story tell in these carousels or graphics. You want to do your photo dumps where you just have photos, of what's going on, how-to guides. Also, I didn't put in there before and afters. You can do the pictures of before and afters, put testimonials, collaborations with different brands, which that will be a more in-depth topic later on. For another month, which I'll go into detail. How do you get collabs, what you need to do. But you can put your collabs in the single post, giveaways, case studies when you do research, etc., educational. So stories are very important. And stories, this is where the energy and time doctors definitely need to invest in. Social media managers can go so far where we post graphics with your website, with your podcast link, with your episode, with your testimonials, with your, the posts that are posting that day. We can only do so much on your stories. But what really is so vital and important is having you do, behind the scenes, little snippets from your day. Like for instance, I had a client um, who is vein and vascular, and we do the before, the afters, the videos, the sclerotherapy videos, etc., for the stories, and then we do infographics and such. But what really took it to the top was when she started adding more behind the scenes of, her with the other doctors, her training with the other doctors, or her, in the room with, the patient's legs doing sclerotherapy, and then her talking through it. So just kind of behind the scenes, showing her face. And then a lot of doctors that I love when they do is they take photos, before they go to clinic. Hi, I'm on my way to clinic, or, I just saw a patient and this is what it brought to me. This is what I learned. I feel like this little tidbit can help you. Kind of just things like that, just behind the scenes. And you always want to be posting on your stories consistently throughout the week, because it not only do your followers see your stories right away up top, but non-followers will click your story to see what you're about and who you are, and kind of just build that trust and connection with you through that. So you kind of always want to be posting on stories. Obviously social media managers do, Monday through Friday, but if you want to add on the weekends, like, hey, I'm going hiking with my family, this is an important pillar in my life, spending time with my family outside of my practice and outside of my business, like having that value, showing that you're a human, and showing also something that aligns with your brand. And also, when you post stories, you want to interact with other people's stories. You want to send, messages to people, specifically if you want them to see a story, because the more you interact with someone's feed, like if you like their post, if you send them a message, your story will pop up on theirs and theirs will pop up on yours. So that's kind of a tip too. Oh, and then also including the stories, testimonials, question and answers. I love this, and I'll talk a little bit more in the next few slides with the stickers. But doing Q&A, there's a sticker that does Q&A. It's amazing. You just say, hey, I have time to answer questions. Obviously, no medical advice. But put your questions here and, we'll answer questions. You can either answer the questions with little video clips in your stories, or I suggest doing it in reels. Take the questions that you get from the stories and make little reels and post, because then it'll be on your feed for them too. And that's great. And then you can also announce your email list freebies and then do your announcements, etc., in your stories. Oh yeah. Okay, so here, Instagram content lifespan. This is important because every platform is so different. Obviously, we know TikTok is very short, quick, within minutes. YouTube is longer because YouTube's just always spreading content and it takes longer. But Instagram, it varies. It has short and long. Obviously, the reels, What's interesting is you could post a reel today and not get many views, but in 14 days, it could go viral. And that's happened to like a few of my clients and it's happened to me. And I'm just like, this is the most bizarre thing. Like 2 weeks later, a reel that I posted, long ago is going viral. So don't get discouraged, especially if you're growing your Instagram. It takes like a good 3 months to really get 3 to 6 months to really get an audience built and the algorithm and Instagram to get your account being spread more, especially if you're building from zero. It takes time. So don't get discouraged. Like your content will be spread. So just keep that in mind. And then post 48 hours, stories, 24 hours, but you can save them to the highlights, like I said, which are always there. And that is so helpful. And then the pinned post, you can pin graphics or pin reels, and those are always there too. You want to, if you do pin post, do like a pinned graphic post, kind of like a start here or about me. And that just basically gives them an idea why they're there, what you do, what you can do for them. And then same with the reel, kind of just more informative, saving those pin ones for more informative. Or if you get like a super viral reel and you just want to pin it so that people, continue to watch it because that's kind of what you're becoming known for. Okay, so we're almost done. Hang in there. So here's just some tips on the next couple slides. What you need to know for content, and you'll always be doing research, always changing your content, especially when you first start out in the first 3 to 6 months, because you're seeing what you like, you're seeing what people like, you're seeing how they interact with it. It does take time and patience. So one tip is check the competitors before you start posting, or if you've been posting for like 3 months and you're just not seeing the quick growth, you can always check your competitors, see what content they share, what type of post structure they use, the captions, the keywords they're using, because you'll want to just incorporate some of those keywords from your competitors in your captions, and in your video too when you speak it. What do they miss posting that you offer that they don't? How they structured their bio, what types of stories do they share? What links do they share? How do they brand themselves? What products do they sell? What freebies they offer? And you can always mimic what they do, but make it your unique own, you know, product, your own unique graphic, your own unique content. Obviously, don't copy word for word and don't copy exactly, but you can, if you like someone's style, I get a lot of doctors that say, I like this account style. Can you make similar graphics to it? Then you can obviously make it similar. So that always look at your competitors. Golden rules, keep it simple, your content. All these influencers and, people are just throwing these videos out now that just have, they're talking, not only do they have the captions, but they have like 4 photos when it talks. And it's just so distracting. Sometimes keeping it simple is key. And I've learned that a lot with all my clients. Like we could just put a simple title and captions and it still gets the same views, gets the same engagement as they build, and it can go viral. So you don't need to be spending tons of money on these insane video editors that, when you can just keep it simple. Obviously later on when you get millions of followers, hire someone that you want, to keep it a little bit more clean cut. And if you want to add those extra things too, like professional video quality, yeah, of course. But to start out, keep it simple. You'll still get the views and the reach. Use graphics, like I said, make it fun, relatable, make it about them, share your story, but also make it about them, how you're helping them, how you're transforming their life, questions, ask them questions, get feedback. That's why you're really on there, for your business, is to be able to help them, to get clients, to serve them, serve patients, educate patients, and then give credit if you do, mimic someone's post, be like, oh, inspiration from this doctor's account, I wanted to share this topic too. remember your why. When you get discouraged, which, as Sharon said, social media is such a love-hate relationship. And I agree. Like, you will have seasons where you completely hate it and you get depressed or discouraged, or you have a hating comment where it has nothing to do with you, but it's just these haters. They're just very negative. You will get down and discouraged, but you just got to remember your why you're there, and the purpose of it. And that will make you feel better and continue to have that motivation and not have that burnout love-hate relationship. Is just remembering you have a purpose here, multiple purposes, but one of them is sharing your story, how you can help them on social media. And, this is making ripple effects in thousands of people's lives that you don't even know. And keeping that in mind will help you get through those harder days on social media when it's just doesn't seem like it's stuck, or your goals aren't getting hit, because they will. It always turns around. There are different seasons in social media, dry seasons and abundant seasons. So it's just constant. It's not linear. So just keep that in mind. And social media is always changing, so you just tweak it too, and you'll be able to ride well. And yeah, be open to new things, try new things, to be able to know, tweak it. Every 3 months, try different types of content. Every month, once you've been on Instagram 3 to 6 months and have a good, amount of posts, and that you're established on Instagram and in the algorithm, then you can start tweaking more, because you'll be able to read the insights better, and it'll give you clearer insights on your Instagram. And then always make it aesthetically pleasing with colors, high quality photos, high quality videos, nothing muffled or, blurry, none of that. Okay, so post at least one time per day, Monday through Friday. And that, whether it's a story, a graphic, or a reel, all three great. But sometimes it's not sustainable posting multiple times a day, every single day. So if you could at least get one story Monday, a graphic Tuesday, or a reel Wednesday, like, you're doing great, so, and just build up on it. Hashtags, sometimes a lot of people, with algorithms, they're saying just use 5 or less. And I mean, you can, but I've noticed still now with all my clients, because I've tried different posts, that hashtags work. They always will. It's just people on the search will always find you with the hashtags. They use Instagram as a search. So what are they going to do in the search feed? And then at the top of the search, it's not only post, users, location, but it's hashtags. So people always go to the hashtags no matter what. So they will always be able to find you. So just always use hashtags. And then along with the keyword SEOs in your caption, obviously. Engaging with people in your target audience, your niche, messaging people so your profile shows up on their feed. Like I said, later on, once you're established, you can use the message automation. They're like little bots. And they, as soon as someone like comments a word, if you're like, oh, to get my free guide, comment below, guide, and then they'll comment, and then automatically the little bot will send them a message with the free guide or the link to get your email. So that is also a good tool to implement later on, especially if you have an online course or newsletter or podcast. Excuse me. So ask people to comment the word or check link. That's what I said. And then reply to almost all of your comments, whether you like them or reply. Of course, you're going to get spam. You'll always get spam. I just leave them unless it's like really graphic spam, then I delete them and block. But I leave them because the more comments you have and more interaction you have, the more Instagram pushes you out. Unless it's like 5 comments of spam, then get rid of them. But it really just depends on you. But if you leave like a couple spam comments here and there, it'll just keep boosting your graphics and posts. You can use the creator account. I have a creator account for my, autoimmune chronic illness account, but I use for my medical minder, I do the business account. Just because I don't want to be a creator on that account. I want to keep it business for my business. But on my main, creator account, where you can use more music, like with the copyright. And then, you know, you do collabs. If you want to do partnerships, you know, do the creator account. You want to change your content over time. If you see low growth every few months, collaborate with others, you know, other physicians, do workshops, interviews on your podcasts, do sales together, giveaways, or even just do Instagram lives, or fun reels together. Post consistency, it matters over posting time. So everyone's more, you know, sometimes people are more worried about, oh, I have to post at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. Don't worry. The more you post consistently, you know, the time will always change, but focus more on posting consistently than what times to post. Obviously, check it, but you know, cross promote on other platforms like your TikTok, your YouTube, your email newsletter, your Facebook. Just share content through all your platforms. It helps. Building trust and reputation is better than building that following right away. Hashtags, location, branded, your niche focused, community focused, like San Diego community or New York community, etc. Health community, descriptive hashtags. You want to use them in your captions and your stories. Use smaller popular hashtags, not so much the millions, like the hashtags with 5 million uses. You want to use smaller, you know, 30,000 people have used this hashtag, etc. So it's not so flooded. You can use popular ones, obviously, but try to incorporate the smaller hashtags too. And then on your insights, analyze which posts have been popular and which hashtag. You can find viral hashtags by Googling viral health, viral women's health hashtags. You Google and then it'll give you different hashtag sites and tools that you can find. Explore page, competitor pages, you look. Services you offer hashtags, like I do virtual assistant, physician virtual assistant, remote patient care, that type of thing. Target audience hashtags, switch them up in your post. Don't use the same exact, you know, 10 for every post because Instagram will think you're a bot and you don't want that. So you can still incorporate like the same one, like women physician in each one, but you want to have, you know, different ones in each one, mix it up a bit. It doesn't have to be all different 20 hashtags every single post. Just make sure it's not the exact same paragraph of hashtags because they will think you're a bot and then you'll get less reach and engagement. Yeah, you'll want to use it on all posts and then try different ones. Okay. How are we on time? Okay, almost done. These are just a couple if you want to take a screenshot or a photo. Here are just a couple viral hooks for your reels. You need these helpful tools, resources to make your life easier. The most valuable lesson, you know, topic that taught me why your problem or challenge persists and how to solve it. And these are just a couple. I have more in the Instagram download guide that I linked. And I'll link again after for you. Call to actions, you want to put a call to action in your IG bio right before the website. You want to put them in your stories, your carousels, at the end of the caption, and at the end of the carousel. You want them in your reels in the caption and at the end of the reel too. You just always want to remind people, oh, you know, hey, I have a free guide. And you can say that at the end of your video too. Here's the story. These are what you want to use. These are amazing. You can put your location if you want. If you are looking for patients from Texas, you want to keep putting location Texas, you know, in your stories so that people will be able to be, you know, brought in. You want to add your photo on there, mention, you always want to tag people because then they'll reshare to their stories and bring more, you know, audience into your following and your atmosphere. Music, always put music. It just makes pictures and videos and behind the scenes fun. Polls, you want to use polls because you want to see that's for building your products and your business. What you want to see, like, oh, do they prefer, you know, a podcast episode about this or this? You can let the audience decide. Same with quizzes. Links, you always want to put your links in because they'll just directly click your website and book right there. Hashtag product. And there's tons of others too that you can go through, but you want to utilize these stickers, and this pops up when you're going to post a story. You just scroll up and then you'll be able to choose in your story. And there's videos on YouTube how to access your stickers. Two more and then we're done. Yeah, so if you want to also take photos of these, because I'll just name a couple, building your community is really important, and that's by posting consistently, using your strong branding, positive attitude, and smile. So many physicians think that not smiling is not professional. You want to smile, maybe not like, be scary smiling, but you want to have that smile before and after, because then they'll say, oh, okay, I like them better. I am drawn to their content better. Just always want to have that positive, attraction, and bring in the people that are positive too. Body language is really important. Collabing with others, giveaways will grow trust because you're interacting with them. And then showing up on video way more definitely adds 50% more trust because they're seeing you face to face. And then being authentic is key. And then telling stories behind the scenes and get somewhat personal. Those are key. And then same with before creating your account, you want to get clear. Who do you serve? You want to stand out with your own uniqueness. What do you have to offer that others don't? And what makes you special? What are your gifts? Clarity. You want to know what you want to post about. The algorithm knows what you're posting about. So you want to get clear in your content so that the algorithm gets clear on who to send your way, because they will send your direct target audience to you by what you post and what you interact with too. And then who do you want to serve? What problem do you want to solve for them? And then how can you get them from A to B? How can you resolve their issue? And then just experiment with different niches, down the way to see what community you really like. And all of this is according to your product, service, business, and the reason why you're going on Instagram. Last but not least, how to get clients, patients. And obviously, the more you grow, especially when you first start out. Like I had a client who just started out on TikTok for the first month, 1 month of posting, and she was discouraged that she didn't get any clients with just 4 weeks of just starting out. And you want to go in, if you're especially starting from zero, social media is a long-term game. You're investing your time and your education and your energy and your money into creating something beautiful for these people, and they will come. It just takes time. And sometimes within 4 weeks of posting, you do get clients. It's just, it just depends. It varies. Like with my Instagram, 2 months and I got 2 clients. It's so weird. But just keep doing it, keep showing up, keep being consistent, and your people will come. What helps is doing the ads. I have seen a difference when doctors have added an ad for their clinic. It does bring more patients and the funnels for those. But that's if you want to invest later on. Hosting a workshop definitely brings in more people, even if it's just a similar or, a small workshop, 30 minutes. Online courses, partnering with others, contacting them in messages. Like if they've, interacted with one of your business posts, you want to send a message, be like, hey, I saw you like this post, blah, blah, blah. How can I help you? And then, doing the DM, offering the free guide, and that can be the bot. And then offering advice, like if people ask questions, non-medical advice questions, you want to just have a conversation with them. These are people you do want to interact with. Obviously block the, spammers, but you want to have conversations with people in the comments and in the messages. And then I'll post again after I close this out. I'll post the link again, but I created a free workbook. It has basically what we went over, but even more. And this has everything that you just want to download and go through and just think about. And it has kind of a planner where you can write your notes for video ideas, topics, etc. And then if it doesn't work, which I tested it out and it should work, just email me, especially if you're not here live and you're watching this as a replay and you would like the workbook, please email me and I'm happy to send you the link. If you need any extra assistance in your businesses or social media, or if you just have questions particular to your brand and niche, I'm so happy to help. So just email me. And then questions. I'm so sorry. There's only 10 minutes of questions, but I elaborated a little bit on some. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, let me
Taylor,
open.
excellent job. You did, there's definitely some comments here. One of the
Oh, good.
things that I saw was a carousel. How many photos are good for a carousel, do you think?
Oh yeah. So depending what you're talking about, you can go from like 3 to 10. 10 is the total amount. Um excuse my dog if you just heard him. But but 10 I usually do or 8. 8 is good. 5, 3. It just depends what topic you're talking about. And then how many photos are good for carousel? Yeah, so that also depends, if you want to do photos, just photos, or add photos and graphics. Photos, 10 photos, 5 photos, adding a photo with a graphic with words. It just, try different things, what you like, what looks aesthetically pleasing. And Canva is really good for doing the basic graphic design on these. And they have templates too that you can use. So it'll help you. Okay, let
All
me.
right. Other questions that I saw. It talks about, is it important that the story content be different than the static post or reels? Could I just start off with this? I think
Yeah.
like, so think about your feed, right? You want it to be more of a brand where Taylor was talking before. When I do my stories, it's more of like what I'm doing on the weekends because I work from home and I feel like my only life is on the weekends. But
Yeah.
what can you add to that? Like I don't think they should be the same, I guess, as what I'm, well, that being said, I do take a lot of my posts from my feed and bring it
Mhm.
into my stories and then share it to the highlights, which Taylor mentioned.
Mhm. Yeah. And so yeah, you want to kind of mix it up. Obviously, you know, you'll want the same types of content for all the stories, the reels, and your graphic posts. But don't you can mix it up. Like on the weekends, if you're doing something that has to do with your brand, like, oh, I'm taking a yoga class, and you talk about like detox, weight loss, stress management. Obviously, that if that's like your brand, then oh, show that you're going to this yoga class on the weekend. Share, oh, this is the link to get if you have like a partnership with them. It just really depends, but having just always putting behind the scenes in your stories is good. And then behind the scenes in your static post too. Hold on, I'm going through how do we put something in our highlights? Yeah, so you post it in your story. So when you post something on your story, wait a few seconds until it loads. And then right on the story, if you click on your bubble, it'll say like little highlight and you can put in a highlight. Or you go on your highlight and then you put edit highlight. And there's also video clips on YouTube how to do step by step. So just type on YouTube or Google, how do you put it in your highlight and they'll tell you step by step. But yeah, it should show a little highlight button with a heart that you can add it. And then, okay, thank you, Sharon. Um, I just want to make sure I'm going through. Oh, okay. Did anyone, how much do you charge? Oh, you're so funny. It depends because I like to tailor a package to each client, depending on their financial needs and also what they need and how much time it's going to take. So I usually do calls first or emails if you just tell me exactly like what you want, and we just figure out a package together. But I try to keep it on the lower end just because I know a lot of physicians are moms and also the economy. So I like to be able to work with each client for their financial needs. So if you have more detailed question of what you would need, just send me an email and I'll let you know.
One other question that was earlier that was a direct message to me.
Oh,
She's
yes.
concerned about being on social media. So what do you think about the faceless reels? And do you want to give an example of one that you think may work if they're really adamant about not showing their
Yes.
face? Which guys, you're the face of the brand, so but
Yeah. So, I mean, that is ultimately you are the face of the brand. Ultimately, you do want to share your face, but I do have a client who, in this season of her life, feels more authentic with non sharing her face in reels. And,
Mhm.
you know, she hosts retreats for physicians. So what we're going to be focusing on the reels rather than just her face right now, because she's just uncomfortable in this season. And that's okay. That's staying authentic to you. But there are ways where you can, you know, put like the UGC, you know, your products, just your products or testimonials, or just doing the inspirational, like I said, like nature, and then putting the music and then like a voiceover or text. You know, just playing around with different things that doesn't have to show your voice. Like we do like testimonial videos of the clients that went to the retreats. We do the retreat, like if one's coming up, you know, we put photos and videos of the place they're going and then giving more information. Um, so it really just depends. And then for like a vein and vascular, what we've done, because she didn't want to show her face for a very long time, we did procedures, we did you know, the testimonials, patient testimonials, we did the sclerotherapy, we showed their clinic, their practice, you know, their team, the events, and then eventually she was started becoming more comfortable coming on because she realized the importance. Eventually you will want to show that face. So, but it's okay. It's okay if right now you're not. There's ways. Just it's more, you know, got to think creatively and strategically on that.
I think articles good too to do voiceovers on. Like if you show
Yes.
like take a picture of the article on your phone and then you could just do a
Yeah.
voiceover, summarize what was in that article and why you're talking to your audience about it.
Yeah. A few of my clients do the articles, the research, especially when they do patient cases. Like one of them did it, you know, is a rheumatologist. So they did lupus for what signs of
Mhm.
lupus. So it just showed, you know, the lupus rash photos and then she talked over it. Um,
Excellent
you
idea.
know, about the whole process. So there's ways you can do it. You just got to strategize a little bit.
Taylor, this has been great. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for this. Remember, there'll be a replay that I'll send out via an email. Taylor also will have it. Also, you know, as far as the workbook, make sure if you want to put that in one more time for the people that are still
Okay.
here that maybe came in, grab that workbook copy. And
Yes.
then we'll see you next month as well, Taylor. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. Email me if you have questions.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Sharon, for putting
Yeah.
this together.
Oh, I love doing
Yeah.
this stuff. You
Thank
know that.
you.
Bye, guys. Have a wonderful week.
Bye.
Thank you.